Welcome everybody to another episode of Kojay's Corner with your boy Kojay right here, where I talk about anything and everything that's on my heart and mind, and I don't hold back. And it's been a minute. I've been really busy, but I'll go into that on another video. This is a very special episode that's been a long time in the making, in more ways than one. And I am very happy to bring with you a very important and inspirational content creator on the Instagram world. He has done a lot of stuff for Palestine, and I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to bring the brother right onto this show. Here we go. Resistance is beautiful.
Thank you so much for having me. Hey, Kojay.
I am. This is weird because I'm like so glad you're here, because you're like a celebrity in a way to me, or someone I admire, because people don't know is that you've been actively protesting for Palestine for a long time, and I'm excited to get the whole story of that and get into the challenges you face, because recently I was shocked and very angered that Meta assassinated your account on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, man. Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Kojay, and thank you to your audience. I'm happy to be here. It's an honor. In regards to what Meta did, there's a quote that I really, really like, and it says that in the empire of lies, truth is treason.
ooh.
And the journalists that we see that have been murdered, by America and Israel in Palestine is a testament to that. Why murder 300 journalists in the past 24 months? Target them. Why? Unless you are afraid of the truth. Why have Larry Ellison take over TikTok? Why, when Saleh, the journalist in Gaza, passed away, he was murdered. May God rest his soul. Why did Meta have to delete this journalist's account that had millions of followers the next day after he was murdered? Why? You know what I mean? Like, that wouldn't happen with Anderson Cooper, right? Like, if Anderson Cooper was murdered, they wouldn't delete his Instagram. And so we really need to pay attention sometimes to what it is that they are deleting. That's, I think, where our sights should be. What is that thing that they don't want us to discuss? And so in my case, just out of nowhere. I mean, I wasn't really posting for like about a week or so, not even anything really. And they just out of nowhere, this has been permanently deleted. You cannot appeal. It's deactivated and deleted. And so I went and I created a new account and started all over again.
Oh, man. Do you still have that library of all your work?
So I have half of it. The reason I have half is the other half is with the police when they broke into my home and they took my previous cell phone. So the cell phone that I have now is a newer one that has April 1st and onwards. They have prior to April 1st. When they broke in, they took all the laptops, all the journals, everything.
Oh, man.
Including that cell phone. I will eventually get that back, God willing, but I don't have it back yet.
Dang. There's this other content creator, this this brother, I forgot where he was, somewhere in the Midwest, and he was always talking about Palestine. And his whole Meta killed his whole account, and he was asking people around, because at that time we did a lot of resharing of other people's posts, just to help, not to do anything copywritten. And he asked me, hey, do you have anything that you shared? I was like, yeah, I'll send it all to you. Wow. And then they deleted his thing again, and we haven't heard from him since. So what you say about deleting the truth, I mean, that's an action telling in itself,
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
yeah,
so
that's a discussion that has to be had, and especially in both of these countries. Of course, I don't consider Israel even a country, but in a place where they keep touting, democracy, and showing off that they're all about freedom of speech, this is nothing but hypocrisy.
America should be better. But let's I want to ask you, like, you've lived in America your whole life?
Pretty much, yeah. I was born in Jordan, because my family was kicked out of Palestine. And I was there only for 9 months in Jordan, and then to New York.
Okay.
And then we stayed there for about 3 years, and then Arizona for the rest of it.
All right. So growing up, when did you, I guess it's always been around the truth of what's going on because of your family. And when did you, like, how was it growing up knowing the truth of what's going on in Western society that constantly has it like hidden? When did it start bothering you that, or when growing up under these conditions, have you always advocated for the truth and what's going on? And when did you first see what was happening that made you compelled to speak up?
I mean, there's just like, you're talking like 30, 40 people that would show up to our protests when I was younger, 13 years old, 15, 18. And we, just either a handful of people that are watching a documentary or part of Students for Justice in Palestine. It's always very small. And I remember like at around the age of 18, going to these incredible speeches where they would talk about Zionism. And I remember thinking to myself, this is such a good conversation about how Zionism has infiltrated the evangelical Christian community and, how they've hijacked these teachings and whatnot. This is so incredible. And I remember thinking to myself, but there's only like 20 people here, How is the rest of the world going to learn about Zionism and how dangerous Zionism is? So that's kind of how it's always been, always, up until October 7th, 2023. That's when, things significantly changed. And everybody, the whole world was like, wait a minute. Why did these people have to jump out of this cage, this extermination camp? What's going on? The cat was out the bag, and it's just exploded since then. And, I mean, there isn't a day that passes by where someone doesn't stop me because of a shirt that I'm wearing or whatever and says, hey, I love your shirt. Fuck Israel. Free Palestine. There isn't a day that passes by where someone won't be like, hey, I know you. And can I talk to you? Can I shake your hand? Can we have a discussion? Yeah, I mean, now it's unbelievable, man. I mean, growing up, I never imagined. I would go to protests just like all my, close Palestinian friends or Lebanese. And, we'd always go, but it was just us. Now we are the minority in those protests. Us Arabs are the minority in those protests. Us Palestinians are the minority in those protests, which is phenomenal, which just makes me so happy,
Yeah, I have to say, the first protest I went to in LA, I was in tears. I was just moved because it seems like a known secret, and you wonder why everyone else is not really waking up. And you see thousands of people around us. You said it started with 20, and unfortunately, I was ignorant for the longest time up to October 14th. I went away on a trip with family October 7th, and I heard just a little bit, and then I was away from the world. Then when I came back, the first thing I saw was that father holding his daughter after a bomb hit their home, and he was yelling, and he was like, I didn't understand what he was saying. It's like, what's going on? Then I got curious, and I started looking in and seeing all these testimonials, this evidence from victims, witnesses, people there. And I was like, oh. So I just caught up, and I was shocked, bothered, ashamed I didn't know this for the longest time, because it's kind of been a little bit in the background, trickling, but not enough. There's just so much things we're all distracted with like all the stuff in the media.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't until November the next month I felt like I had to do something and show up. And just looking back my whole life, I was ignorant of everything. I even believed in some negative stereotypes, even against our fellow Muslims, and just world changed for me. But that's the truth, and that's been your life the whole time. So what's it feel like seeing that change happen, because you're there from the beginning and you're here to now?
It's chilling. It's like revolutionary. I think October 7th has changed the course of the world as far as we know it. And it's I mean, it felt very lonely before, like our struggle, we were dying in silence. the Israelis and Jewish supremacists were getting away with all of their crimes. Now they can't hide anymore. They are panicking. And so that has, it just flipped on its head.
Wow.
Yeah.
That feels like change is coming because it's new to me. So to me, I feel like, oh, there's no change. But you see this turn of events, even when you tackled on when we were when you visited us at our OC banner job for Pali, and your words were so moving and so impactful. If I have your permission, I'll show it at the end of this episode. But is that change enough? Because I feel like there's still a lot of people in the dark, either willingly or knowing, and some people like to look away and not even talk about it.
Yeah, that is true.
What would you say to them? Or what do we have to do?
To the first part, you're right, that there are still a lot of people that are willingly looking away, right? I'll give you an example. The other day I was wearing a shirt that said, "The Messiah hates Israel." That's a shirt that I was wearing today. People will come up and talk and whatever. And this was a few days back. A guy comes up to me and he says, "I want to talk to you about that. I'm a Christian. I want to talk to you about that shirt. The Messiah hates Israel. What does that mean?" I was like, "The Messiah." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Jesus?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "He hates Israel." He looks at me and he's kind of confused. I was like, because Israel is a piece of shit state that kills children, bombs hospitals. You know that, right? And then he's looking at me because I'm at a point in my life where that's it. I'm not, I'm not trying. I don't need to be a hyper.
You're not sugarcoating it. You're getting straight to the point.
They bomb hospitals. They whatever.
Yeah.
They kill children. So I'm looking at him. He's like, yeah, but the word hates, And of course, I know exactly what he's getting at. I told him, yeah, I'm familiar with the Bible. I think, Jesus hates Israel. And I think if he were here, he'd pick up a sword and he'd fight against them. He looked at me. He couldn't believe it. He's like, "Where are you getting the word hates from?" I was like, "Well, He's like, "Because that's not in the Bible." I said, "Well, it is in the Bible that he flips tables." And I was like, "What's the matter? Is it kind of shocking that I know your Bible?" And he went quiet. He looks at me. He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, he wasn't smiling when he was flipping those tables." Yeah, Jesus hates Israel. And then he looks, he's like, "The thing is, I'm not talking about Israel. I don't even see that word." That's what he told me on my shirt. "I don't see that word." I said, "That's exactly right." And that's the problem with the Christian community here in this country. You and all the churches have been infiltrated and you do not see that word. We know that. And you should be ashamed of yourself coming here. This is at the gym, coming here to the gym with your muscles, acting like you're tough while women and children are being slaughtered and you can't even stand up for them. What kind of man are you? He's looking at me. I'm like, "Dude, it's 2025. You don't know what Israel's doing? You don't know that they're committing a Holocaust? So you should be ashamed of yourself." He's like, "I thought you were wearing this shirt so that people can have a discussion." I told him, "What discussion? I didn't call you up to have a discussion with me. Jesus hates Israel." And he goes, "Oh, peace be upon you." I told him, "Go fuck yourself." "What do you mean, peace be upon what? You're going to kill my people and you want to tell me peace be upon you? Get the fuck out of here." No, there is no hate like Christian love. There is no hate like Christian. This is hypocrisy. This is not Christianity. This is hypocrisy. This is bullshit. Coming up to me like, "Oh, I don't see the word Israel." While my people are being slaughtered? Get the fuck out of here. That's bullshit. That's what that is. That's bullshit. Even my neighbor, one day my neighbor wanted to have a discussion with us. She's like, "Us Christians, we believe in turning the other cheek and being nice to everyone, blah, blah, blah." I said, "That's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. You guys are the ones who bombed Iraq to death. You murdered 1.5 million Iraqis. Did the Iraqis murder 1.5 million Americans?" She looked in shock. She looked at her husband. "Wow, he knows a lot." That's what she tells him.
You heard that? She said that?
Yeah, her husband was saying,
"Wow,
he's really well educated. He knows a lot, blah, blah, blah." She's like, "I grew up just hearing a bunch of bad stuff about Muslims and, all this stuff." I said, "Hey, that's fine. I'm your neighbor. You want to come ask me some questions? Come ask me." But the reality is they paint this picture like, "Oh, we have nothing to do with it. We're all about love. We're all about whatever." Find me 5 churches that have condemned Israel. 5 in this whole country. 5. Find them. List them for me. That's the challenge for the audience. Pick up the phone and call church after church after church and find me 5 and see. There's your challenge. They sit here acting, "Oh, we're all about love. We're all about love." You're hypocrites is what you are. Now, of course, this isn't to say that this is Christianity. No, this is not Christianity. And nor is it all Christians. It's just that it's been hijacked by Zionism, right? To cover the crimes and then tell its people, its congregation, those who love Israel are blessed. Come on. If that doesn't prove to you that your religion has been hijacked and corrupted, I don't know what does.
Like, we know that Judas betrayed Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, because Jesus was against a military state.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, hello, because I know these very well as a former Christian. I was a Christian for 18 years of my life, solid, on and off prior. So I always knew this to be wrong. And that's actually what shook my faith in the community, the church communities that I was around. I was just shocked at, like, why are you guys allowing this? And I can't see anywhere in my studies of the Bible where this really supports it. And this goes to a lot of because I was that odd Christian out at the time where I believed Jesus Christ was the Son of God and wasn't God himself. I always thought the Trinity was metaphoric, you know?
Yeah.
But because I do remember Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, saying that, you know, I can't be God because I'm not all good. And I remember looking up where the Trinity came from. I couldn't find it except weird interpretations saying, like, oh, he says he's not God because he's not all good. This means he's part of the Trinity. That's what I found once. I was like, what? And then I found out about the Schofield Bible and a whole bunch of stuff, because I was also aware of the slave Bible and then the other Bibles that have certain political agendas.
And how many Qur'ans are there?
There's one. There's multiple translations, but there's one, my friend.
In Arabic, unchanged, 1400 years. In the Quran, in Islam, right? We believe the reason the Quran is revealed because both Judaism and Christianity have been corrupted. That's why it hijacked. And that does not mean that we don't love our Christian brothers and sisters or our Jewish brothers and sisters, right? We share so much commonality. In all due respect to them, we would never disrespect, like, it's not a disrespect to their religion or to their belief when we say that your religion has been changed over time. This is just stating a fact. Yeah.
Which has receipts.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
Yeah. And you were a Christian yourself, and many Christians will have questioned their churches and their congregations as to why they've been silent during this Holocaust. And when they saw that it was being justified, they either left Christianity, came to Islam, fell into depression. Yeah, I've met many of these people. I met many people. We would be at meetups and they'd say, "This is my church now." Well, why would they say that? If their church was condemning this, why would they say that? They're saying, "This is my church now," because their church actually doesn't stand up for these children. And these people feel morally obliged to run away from that. Yeah.
And I feel it's completely like nothing to do with the faith, like weaponizing their faith that in a hijacked way to get people on this political agenda, because I treasure and love the Christians and Jewish people that are in the protest with us because of their faith, because of their love for Christianity, because of their love for Judaism, the Bible, the Torah. Like a couple of episodes back, I had Palestinian Christians for Justice on my channel talking about their family taking refuge in northern Gaza, and how their auntie and some relatives were taken out by Israeli snipers in the church. So it's, if anyone's listening to this, I feel it's very clear, but just in case, I'm not knocking any faith of that. It's these institutions that weaponize these violent ideologies upon people for this ethno-terrorist state of Israel.
Yeah, it's kind of like weaponizing the media or weaponizing journalism, right? It's the same thing. It's not that Christianity or Judaism are inherently corrupt or evil. I believe they are inherently good. You see, so it's It's that they have been weaponized. So there is nothing wrong with true Christianity. True Christianity does not agree with this, or true Judaism.
Exactly.
There's, this. I mean, that goes without saying. So yeah, this is not. This is a hijacked version of that.
And the people you've come across who've challenged you, I've seen in the videos, are very, very mean and angry. And I saw one of your recent posts where you're writing this beautiful letter on beautiful paper, and you're doing the old school. I forgot what it's called. I remember it from The Princess Bride, where it's like that wax and then yeah. And can you please tell me what inspired that and what are you doing with that? I see you're giving it to people you interacted with, but please elaborate.
Sure. So actually, with the letters, I'm actually leaving them in predetermined places. I'm not giving them to people. Yeah, I'm just
predetermined. What do you mean?
Places that are special to me.
Ah,
places that I've reflected on. So I don't. Yeah, I don't know who picks them up. Sometimes I might see.
Wow.
Yeah. But most of the letters that I've left, I do not know who has picked them up.
And it's all handwritten?
It's all handwritten. Yeah.
How many letters, or are we?
I'm at around 30 something right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they're the wax seal, and there's 3 of them total, and the placement of certain words, and every single letter ends the same. Ends with, "After all, surely this letter did not end up in your hands by coincidence."
Dang, that's beautiful.
Thank you. And so the reason that I started making the letters, writing them, it happened over time. It happened over 4 months of reflecting. Yeah. And so what happened was I started seeing that our voices were being completely suppressed. And that was a big part of why I would hit the streets or wear the shirt that says Israel kills children. It's a place that the government and Jewish supremacists cannot control, which is like being out in the streets, right? They cannot control that. They can control the media. They can control Instagram, social media, etc. And so what started to happen was I started to come up with this idea slowly over time about writing letters. Really started reflecting on it, but I didn't know where that was going to go. It was just somewhere in my mind that I would like write these letters about these crimes, but who would I give them to? Where would I leave it? It was all very hazy. And it takes sometimes between my videos, it takes months before the next video comes out because I don't force it. So typically in a year, I might just post about 6 to 8 videos. Yeah.
Wow.
Not that many. If you really like look through it, it's very limited. And so I sat and I really reflected, and something very interesting happened. You won't believe this. I'm sitting down. I actually have chills. I haven't told anybody this story. I'm sitting down at a coffee shop outside. This is a few weeks back. I'm sitting outside and I'm working and reading and whatever. And a man comes up to me and he says, "Excuse me." I've never seen him in my life. Don't know him, nothing about him. He goes, "Excuse me, can I tell you something?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Usually I take pictures of people in special moments out in public, and I put the photos in an envelope, and I leave them in random places for people to find." I said, "Okay." He says, "The owner of this coffee shop just came up to me and said, 'Hey, are you the person that's been leaving those photos, etc.?' And he said, 'Yes.' She said, 'Please stop doing that.'" So he says, "I don't feel welcome here. So I love to give my love to people. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go elsewhere." That's what he told me. And I looked at him and I said, "Hey, man, you want to know something? I've been really thinking about writing some letters talking about American Israel's crimes and leaving them in different places." He looked at me, he like nodded, but he wasn't listening because he was so hurt by what just happened to him. And he goes, "Anyways, I thought I'd just share that with you, man. Have a good day." And he waves at me and he leaves. And I sat there thinking, I was like, could this have been, subhanAllah, the push that kind of just sent me into, it was the final seal the final seal on my decision if I should make this or not, because I've already been working on it for months. I was right there. The moment he said that, I began writing the letters the next day.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That's what happened. And so now, yeah, I leave them in places that I've predetermined and reflected on, and I leave it to God on who he wants to find them. And, you know.
Wow. Man. So in the time you interact with a lot of people because you're out there in the streets.
Mhm.
What'd you say is the difference with the people who come to you lovingly and with questions, but then the people who have problems and attack you? Is there more on one side, and is it the same type on the other side?
Yeah, good question. It's 95% support when I'm carrying the flag, 95% and 5% racism. When it's engaging and talking, it's usually 98% support, 2% racism. Now, I can tell, like racism and hatred, I can tell when someone is genuinely coming up to have a conversation. I can tell typically that, okay, this person is interested in understanding what's going on. These people, I will not be aggressive towards, do you know what I mean? Or antagonistic, or I'll be very welcoming, very gentle, willing to answer anything. I don't let them apologize. Like, no. I'll be like, there's nothing to apologize for. I give them as much as I can. Truly, I do. The people who I know that come up to me genuinely. Now, like that other guy in the story, when he goes, hey, I want to know why that word hate, the word hate is nowhere in the Bible and blah. I know that this guy doesn't give a damn, because when I kept telling him, how do you feel about Israel murdering all these children? He goes, I have no opinion on Israel. I told him, do you condemn Israel for murdering 700,000 Palestinians? Yes or no? No, I don't have any opinion on Israel. This to me, I treat like an enemy. This to me, I treat like an enemy. This is not someone who gives a fuck if I were bombed and killed, and if, God forbid, my family was. He doesn't get, I'm telling him right now, hey, do you condemn Israel for the hospitals they've bombed? No answer. Then this is my enemy. This is not somebody, oh, I need to be extra gentle. They don't give a fuck. They're already telling you. He's not saying, wait a minute. They bombed a what? A hospital? When? No, he's not offended. He's telling you, as you're telling him, no, I don't care. Hey, that's none of my business. Hey, what's happening over there is none of my business. I don't know anything about that. That right there is an enemy. You live in 2025. This is the information age. The information is all free. All of it's free. Instagram is free. Facebook is free. You can get a cell phone for free. I don't know one person that doesn't have a cell phone. Not one. The library is free. YouTube is free. Don't give me any of that. You know, and I know you know. And because of us and our hard work and what Allah has blessed us with, we made sure that you guys all saw the footage of the crimes in Palestine. The crimes that Israel has committed is because we force-fed that shit to you. So I know you've seen it. So don't come to me, you know what I mean, and act, that I have no clue what's going on. Bullshit. That's an enemy. And you have to be able to recognize it right away. Like, this person's coming for a genuine conversation. I got to give them my all. I got to give them my love, and I got to give them my attention. This person is coming to justify it. This is an enemy. It should be treated as such. You know what I mean? That's where, like, you don't give them, not in a physical sense, but you don't give them the opportunity to one-hand you, like, or to one-up you. You know, like, if you remember the radio host guy that I had the interview with, do you remember that, where the radio host was like, "We're going to talk we're going to talk peace." Do you remember that guy? He's like, "We're going to talk peace." So no, we're going to talk liberation.
I remember you talking about it. I'm not remembering him so much.
Yeah. There's a video where I'm on this radio show, and the radio host is like, "Today we need to talk peace. Why don't you want peace?" That's what he was saying.
I remember that. I don't remember him though. He's like gone from my mind. It's all you, brother. Seriously. But I do remember you making that point very, very prominent and clear.
Yeah, because it's like they want you to bend the knee. So we don't want peace. We want liberation.
There's a huge difference.
Dude, how has that been working out for us? This is their peace plan. They bombed all the children to death. This is great. Like, this is what you fuck no. I don't trust them. The Abraham Accords. Oh wow, what a cool name. They name everything after the prophets. David's arrow.
Yeah, you notice that?
Yeah, and Joseph's sling and whatever, right? Everything. Abraham Accords. Get the fuck out of here. That's them wanting you to bend the knee by using religious manipulation.
Because they always use like God as an excuse to justify something bad, because you think, oh, God wants it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know what you say about peace. Peace has been tried before. Like, I was gonna say that, like, no, I remember Norman Finkelstein saying that when he used to be in contact with Hamas, that they did try peace before with their march, and the IOF, they opened fire with snipers shooting men, women, children, elderly, the handicapped, everybody, and they said that every shot hit its target.
He killed about 150 during the March of Return or something like 20.
It was March of Return. Thank you. That was it. So peace has been tried, and like this whole UN agreement with the US's Israel's peace plan or whatever, it's all really just protecting Israel from the war crimes that they don't get to face, that if the other things we didn't veto, they would have faced. So it's really disgustingly horrible. There's no peace. I even had this one of my posts or reposts recently had the Palestinian flag, and it said something along the lines that this is a symbol of liberation for everyone worldwide now, and I had this friend, or no, not really a friend, but I've talked with him before on social. I don't really know the guy, but he was saying, like, stop choosing sides. We need peace. And then I just saw I peeped on what's on his profile, and there's one picture of a heart, and one side is Israel, one side is Palestine. I was like, do you even know who's occupying who? It's like there's a big story here. You can't just not see the whole thing. Yeah. And it really bothered me. And it was something I saw recently this morning. And then you tell me the story with the guy coming at you and talking about peace and saying, I won't say anything.
It's all bullshit. I asked him, I said,
very confirming.
I told him this. I told him, do you condemn Israel? And that same thing, do you condemn Israel for the Holocaust it's committing in Palestine? He goes, of course. I told him, so then why are you asking me to make peace with a people that are committing a Holocaust against me and my people? Would you make peace with the Nazis? And he said, oh, we got to go live. We got to go live. Yeah, it's all bullshit, man. No. We're going to get freedom and liberation by force. By force. It doesn't come. You don't get it from your occupier by asking your occupier. You get it by force. That's how you get freedom and liberation. And by international law, that is their right. 100%. That's why, like, Israel's propaganda machine always flips the thing. Like, it's like they want to add. It's like pro wrestling, bro. It's like they have a slogan per character, and right or wrong, and it's like a villain. It's what they say is wrong, even though it's like, oh, whatever. May sound great, but it's like, Israel has a right to defend itself. Yeah. I remember that being stapled and promoted again and again and again, because they want to flip the truth, because the oppressed, the occupied, have the right to defend themselves. They're the occupiers. They have no right. They have a right to protect who they occupy. Yes. What's going on here? So it works. It works because a lot of the American public is just not educated enough, and so it works. And so, for example, they know that, and so what they say is the sun is cold, the sun is cold, the sun is cold. And if we say it enough times, people will just accept it. That's what it is. And so it's the repetition. It's part of their Hasbara. This is what Jewish supremacy and Israeli society is built on. They lie without shame. Most of them are godless. They do not believe in a God. They don't, I mean, like Candace Owens said, and I don't agree with everything that she says, but when it comes to this, I definitely do. She said, they kill children on a daily basis. Do you think there is a crime they won't commit? So yeah, they will lie. They'll tell you, oh, Israel has a right to defend itself. No, it does not. It's an occupier. How does an occupier, somebody breaks into my house right now, does he have a right to steal everything? But yeah, they know that the American public is living in deception, right? And so they sort of add to it. They add to it. I'll give you an example. The other day on HBO, there's a stupid show called It. There's some show about a clown, and he goes killing a bunch of kids.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a fan of clowns.
Yeah, the show sucks. Don't even bother. Episode 1, there's a Jewish kid sitting with his father, and the father tells him, yelling at him about something, and then says the words, nobody knows about Jewish suffering. Nobody knows about suffering the way the Jews do. That's what he tells him. Nobody knows about suffering the way the Jews do. And he like yells at him and whatever. And like, wow, how convenient. Nobody knows about suffering, right? Only this select few of people know about it. Go watch it. It's on the show. Why now? It was filmed while the Jewish supremacists and Israel were committing a Holocaust against Palestinians. Because they know by constantly feeding it to us, right, that they can do no wrong. Israel has the right to exist. David's arrow or whatever the hell. They know that over time, this becomes like indoctrination, religious and otherwise. And at some point, people just, they don't know. They're like, they're our greatest ally. Israel is our greatest ally. They don't even fucking know why. But it's just been, that's all they always say. Hamas has to disarm. Israel is our greatest ally. Poor Israel is this little country, and all these Muslim countries around it, they want it gone. That's what they always say.
Or this other one is like, we just have a little piece. Why are you guys getting all bent out of shape? It's just a little piece, not much. Just not much.
Brilliant, like genius, the way they do it, right? Like, it's just so, it's sadistic, it's sick, but it's a level of manipulation that needs to be studied, you know. And again, it's just because they don't fear God. They have no fear. They have no principles. They don't care. They kill kids.
Well, Netanyahu did say, I think sometime this year, that Israeli law is based off of the Talmud. Especially Christians, please read just a little bit of that and wake up. So it's crazy how out in the open so many of these things are. I was before while getting ready, I did see a little video of a APAC commercial trying to, and then the APAC commercial is totally made with AI. You can see it's fake as heck. And but its whole thing is trying to re-promote that APAC is America first, but everything in that is just, I'll send it to you later. But this guy just breaks down, like pausing, and is like, wait, what did they do for this? What did they do for us? What tax dollars are going where? What weapons are going where? It is crazy. And the fact that they have to do commercials to try and rebrand and re-advertise themselves, I feel is also telling at them kind of shaking. And it's like, oh, this is where other billions of dollars are going for these dumb commercials.
Definitely. They need Israel there to keep the Middle East and the Muslims destabilized. That's why every day they're bombing a Muslim country. Lebanon today, they bombed the West Bank, Gaza, and yesterday and the day before that. Last 6 months, they went after Qatar, Iran, West Bank, Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen. All is common denominator, all Muslim countries. Yep. Keep the Muslims dominated, killed, separated. Yep, absolutely. It's very easy. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's why Israel, this little tiny country, why don't you want it to exist? Please bend the knee, come lick the wall. Lick the wall, bend the knee, say you love the Abraham Accords. Please, that's all we want. Yeah, that's what it is. And this is how America has stayed at the top. Read books about the CIA. All of these ex-CIA officers will tell you, we keep destabilizing countries. That's what we do. We did it to Iran. We did it to Cuba. That's what America does.
And what year was the CIA created?
It was between 1949. It was between Israel's creation. So it's it was something like 47, 48, 49, right?
Because it's reflective of everything also, because a lot of my family's from Sri Lanka, and the British pulled officially out of Sri Lanka in 1948 and focused more of their aid to where? It's painfully how everything's even all connected to there, even with the diamonds in Congo, with all the bloody massacres going on there. Where they go isn't real.
Yeah, and the reason, that's why they can't lose it. They don't have another strategy, right? Like corruption is running through it, like with the Epstein files and all the politicians they bought, right? And pedophiles running over to Israel, and right, like, you know, banking systems, etc. Keeping the Middle East destabilized, the African countries destabilized. They don't really have another strategy. So they can't. That's why, okay, I'm going to tell you, that's why Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they knew they were going to lose the presidency because of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. For them, Israel is their God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't have another strategy. So like right now when Kamala Harris talks about it, she knows why she lost. Right? That doesn't matter that they were going to lose. There was a campaign called Abandon Biden, and it became Abandon Harris. And they were the ones who had told them, we are going to make sure that you lose. And I know the people who run the organization, and the White House called that organization and told them to please like stop this campaign. Why would the White House call and tell them to stop the campaign unless they knew that they were going to lose the presidency?
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? They kept funding Israel to the very bitter fucking end of that presidency, because they do not have a strategy as a country outside of this, really keeping these countries divided by investing in Israel, and a lot of corruption runs through Israel. There's no other strategy. Do you see another strategy? Every day we're bombing and killing a bunch of kids in Muslim countries. You don't see like our president going and sitting with the Lebanese government and trying to like help develop their country, help their economy. Like, this is not what we do. China does that, and China is being credited for lifting up the countries that it does business with. That's what everyone says about China. And as many criticisms as I have towards them, I'm just explaining. But America doesn't do that. America threatens, and they run the SWIFT banking system, and they economically outcast you. Why did they choke out Iran with sanctions? Iran didn't. Iran was following everything that it had to according to the law in regards to its nuclear program.
Yeah, they haven't done anything to anybody.
Exactly. So, but how come, but how come sanction them and choke them out? Why? For what reason? Come lick the wall, or we will destroy you. This should be the slogan of America. Right? Lick the wall or we'll destroy you. That should be the slogan, really, because that's exactly what the U.S. is doing.
I saw a video of another content creator asking some kids, like, what do you have to do to be president? And they listed those things, and like, oh wait, you also have to kiss that wall in Israel. Like it's standard. Like then you're officially the president of America. It's like,
Asking the New York mayor, all of them, while they're on stage, what's the first country you're going to visit? They're all like, Israel, like puppies, good little puppies, slaves, man. I swear to God, that's not fucking freedom.
No, it's not.
That's not. Honestly, man, it's better to die standing for what you believe in than on your knees like these fucking politicians. What a fucking shame.
It's embarrassing. And it's crazy how everything's out in the open and they're still going along with the game plan. The isn't real blueprint game plan, because everything I'm seeing, and I'm still learning because this is a lot. And it's not hard to catch up on the gist of what's going on. There's a lot of bloody receipts, and you just have to, stop lying to yourself. That's what I think. And they have this, I don't want to be, just throwing that word out there. The terrorist state of Israel and their allies and supporters and the people who are complicit are stuck on this big game plan going forward, because what we see in Gaza is also a wall being built to cut half of it or majority of it out, and you have people in New York having bids on houses in the north of Gaza and here and there. So Gaza is being changed. You're seeing policies change here, like in Colombia they stopped Arabic studies and some other international studies. These are plans that I see that are made for going forwards. Like there's a bigger plan that I think is gross, and I think it's greater isn't real. And I feel the powers that be are committed to that. And I'm wondering, and I'd love to know if you have any ray of hope or when you want to add to it. How long can that last? We have Israel begging America for a 20-year goal. Will it take 20 years for them to accomplish this goal? Do we have to go through this, or are they just desperate and are they losing? I feel like sometimes it's hard to tell.
I think they're desperate in one sense, like public opinion. You know, you need people to come in and invest in your country, to come for tourism, to come for studies, right? You know, that you need that for longevity. But I don't see that Israel really has any sort of strategic plan there, outside of killing. I only see it. I see Israel as it being dead, and it's kind of propped up by like strings, like a corpse that's just dead, and it's held up by the U.S.
Ooh.
You know, that's really how I see Israel is dead, and we just have to bury it pretty much. And the way that we do that through legal means is we just sort of outcast anybody that deals with them. Oh, you take money from Israel. Oh, so you're a terrorist. You know?
Yeah, essentially you are.
Yeah,
boycott. They do everything that terrorists do. They target civilians to get their way.
Support of Israel in any shape, way, or form is terrorism, without question. Yeah, any politician should be called a terrorist for sure that supports Israel. You're a terrorist. That's it. Done. And boycotting companies that support Israel. So it dies a slow, even like a slow death. You know what I mean? And that's, but yeah, the reason also from another perspective that they seem so effective and so energetic, because America is like, we don't have any other strategy. How much money do you want? We don't have another strategy. How much money do you want? They're like, give us 40 billion. Okay, here's 40 billion. Okay, what are you going to do? Okay, we're going to bomb Gaza, West Bank. We'll hit Qatar, and then we'll go bomb Iran. You know what I mean? Like, like right now it's November 25th. I'm telling you, watch tomorrow. You can text me. They're going to bomb somebody else and kill a bunch of children tomorrow. You'll see. The sun will rise tomorrow. They will murder a bunch of children. They don't know they have no other plan, other strategy other than to kill. It's like a vampire that just survives off of blood. They don't have a way to survive other than killing.
You're so right, bro. Because, since I've been vocal about this, I've had some friends who don't talk about this have come up to me on separate occasions because of some announcement either Trump made or whoever made. And they said, hey, did you hear there's a ceasefire? Hey, they're going to stop killing them. I was like, no, they're not. Wait tomorrow or a couple of days. And sure enough, the same story. And as we see right now, they're still killing people. And it's it's like delaying the inevitable.
Yeah,
when they say those things.
And I just want to say really quick, but from one angle, they look so strong from one angle, right? Because they have all the military might and all the military power and all the nuclear weapons and blah, 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 and the biggest militaries in the world. So from that angle, it looks like they are succeeding. But how sustainable is that? Like there is a blowback. There is a consequence to the society's mental health, right? The society, their society, if you look at the data, knows that we really can't travel to other countries because people hate us. Their society knows that. Data shows what the mental health, epidemic that's spreading through Israel, what it's really like. There's a blowback. There is a cost. So it may look like they are winning in one aspect, but how long is that going to last? Eventually, it's going to give. You know what I mean? Yeah.
How close do you think we are? Or that is?
Ahmed Yassin, who was the head of Hamas, he's one of the creators of Hamas, or like I guess the creator, he's credited with that, that he doesn't see Israel lasting past 2027, that it would be dead by then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, 2027 is around the corner, but I hope he's right. I hope it's sooner. If he is wrong about that, maybe it's just a prediction, right? If he is wrong about that, I would, if I were to give it a number, within 10 years, I would see it dying kind of a slow death. And it just not working out for them and them having to like sort of pivot some way, somehow. But I don't know that the United States has any other strategy than destabilizing countries, killing them, threatening them, shutting off systems, economic sanctions. I don't believe that the U.S. has any other strategy.
Yeah, because I asked this not as like, hey, freedom at last. Not
Mm.
just that. It's just because as an American
Mm.
growing up on G.I. Joe, I really believe that we should be the good guys, and we were, or I thought so.
I, I wish it was that way.
I do too. I do too.
I'm an American too. Like, I wish it was.
Oh yeah, brother.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, our politicians have connected America to the hip, to this terrorist state, that when they go down, they're going to hurt us along with it, because we're already hurting. They have the free healthcare. We do not. And some people don't even have healthcare. They have free education. We do not. Their military is taken care of. We barely are, or not even. It's a very toxic. It's like you see that relationship where the guy is really a jerk, a-hole, and he's got this beautiful woman he beats and abuses, and she still stays with him. By all means, she should leave. America's that girl.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, if they stay together, he's going to go down and take her with her.
Yeah.
America deserves better. America, morally, financially, everything. We deserve better. We're busting our butts off. And a lot of the problems that could be solved with homelessness, food crisis, hunger, education, health, all that could be solved with just like a third or fourth. I'm still learning geopolitics, so don't quote me on that, of what's being sent over there that doesn't come back.
Absolutely. Well said. 320 billion has been given to Israel so far. And that doesn't include all of the other resources and laws where we have to share military technology with them, etc. I believe Israel used to be the leech, and now it's become the host. So that's not a lot of people might agree with me on this, but that is my belief. Israel used to be the leech, and now it is the host.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep all these quotes and stuff, but there was a politician who said recently that, and I sound like he was under fear. He said something like, oh crap, I didn't save it. Oh well. He said something along the lines, if I'll put it in the description, the link to it, if y'all want to check it out. But he said something along the lines where we have to support them or they'll target us. Like in fear, like they're the big bads and we're the little ones, you know? So
was he referring to the Muslims targeting us? What is he referring to?
No, referring to Israel targeting America if we don't abide and make them happy.
Interesting.
So I thought that was an interesting angle. I have to look it up, so no one quote me on it. No. But that as an angle of supporting them. So we first I hear we got to support them out of faith of Christianity, which is a lie. Got to support them out of patriotism for America first, which is a lie. So I found it really sounding I found it really crazy to hear the what is it, the plug, the sell to go support them or they'll kill us too. It's like, wow, really? It's like, because like you look at ICE, they're all trained by IDF and all that, I see no difference with ICE and IDF.
Yeah, at all. Like, that sort of hatefulness, aggressiveness, lack of humanity. Absolutely. Yeah. I think I think Israel has sort of positioned itself slowly over time to not just have an influence over America, but to really truly control it. I mean, Miriam Edelson giving Trump, she's a Jewish supremacist Israeli, giving Trump $100 million. She can pretty much ask for anything. Our president is for sale. Our president's a whore.
I heard some from the Epstein files. He's more than that.
And he's for sale. And so you just, okay, $100 million. That's just her. Okay, now take into account Jeffrey Epstein. He's also a Jewish supremacist, of course, I'm sure, in case your audience didn't know. And he worked for the Mossad, which is an intelligence agency, terrorist organization for Israel. So yeah, they control our politicians. That's why all of our politicians, they go to the same beat of the drum with, when it comes to Israel. And so it's slowly over time kind of positioned itself to no longer really be the leech. Policy, it controls our politicians. Because politicians, you'll notice, typically will have a difference of opinion on different things. Like they can talk freely about different things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But what are the chances that all of them are saying the same thing about this one thing? The same with the media, right? The media can talk about anything at any time. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
They have, their talk shows, whatever. But when it comes to this, they all get scared. Oh, we shouldn't talk about that. We shouldn't touch. Oh, is it anti-Semitic? Is it whatever? How come? Right? It's interesting, and that is proof to me, evidence that Israel controls our media and it controls our government.
Yep, and I believe
Mhm.
that Israel is probably like the capital of the new world order that we hear about.
I mean,
That's my big theory.
right.
It's like out in the open, like you look at it.
These are not even conspiracy theories. It's right in front of us. They are killing without consequence. They are stealing. They have money. We can barely take care of the American citizens here. I don't really know where the conspiracy is.
No, like we said earlier, there's lots and lots of bloody receipts,
Yeah.
and
And 40% of Americans, 40% cannot afford a $1,000 emergency. Yet Israel has received $320 billion. This is something that really needs to be reflected upon.
that it's crazy. Man, I don't know where I go from there. It's just like you just look at the whole beast and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, I know.
I'm astonished at how well it works on people, and part of me feels like it entertains to the hatred in people that people do harbor and practice, such as racism and prejudice, or their own superiority, or putting one ethnic group over another. Like I see it entertaining those people because it gives them self-empowerment, even to the point where I've had some discussions with some Christian nationalists that have the same views for America as the Zionists do for making an ethno state of Israel.
Yes.
But in America, making everyone Christian or white Christian, and if you're not Christian or white Christian, they flip flop. Yeah, get out. So it's like the same genocidal ideology. They just replaced the Jewish supremacy with Christian supremacy.
Beautifully
And it's this weird sickness that I'm shocked. I was like, even if you do read clearly the teachings of Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, in the Bible, this is wrong. But there's this aggressive dedication to it, because I remember very, very clearly the day when you came to visit us at our OC banner drop, and we had those white supremacists in that white truck. Why is it always a white truck? Anyways, they were doing those illegal U-turns, coming back to yell at us and da. And I remember one point they came up to, because I'm the one with the megaphone going, right? They stopped at us, and I locked eyes with the driver, and because they were yelling USA, USA, America, 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 and I was like, we're using freedom of speech. This is freedom, right? I said something like that to the driver. He was looking me straight in the eyes. It's like, yes, freedom over here, no freedom over there. And then I was like, whoa. For some reason, I would love to have a conversation with you. At the same time, I'm shocked because his reply was freedom over here, no freedom over there. And I felt that's very, very un-American.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can't fathom how they think. I just really, really don't understand it. I don't even know what my question is.
No, I think you're just reflecting out loud, and I can see it. I mean, I don't think that they really know much about this country, what it was founded on, the philosophies behind freedom of speech. They don't,
or even why Thanksgiving started.
Yeah, of course. I don't think they really know any of that, and so for them, it's just this sort of let hate lead. Yeah, let hate lead. And right, the supremacist ideology that you're talking about means that you hate everybody else. You're a supremacist, you and your people above all else.
Mm-hmm.
You're above accountability in a way, right? Because now you can kick everybody else out. There's no law, right? Like, I'll get out. It's ours, all ours. So there is no really a room for reflection and education. That takes courage. That takes patience to learn about other people's
Courage.
cultures, right? It really does. It takes courage to be able to challenge your own beliefs,
Mm.
and say, could I be wrong? Should I learn a little bit more about what happened to the Native Americans? Have I been inconsiderate about what's happened to the Armenians? Should I look into that?
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
that takes, it takes reflection, it takes patience. It's not easy. It takes courage, and a lot of people don't have that.
Oh, ooh, as you were talking now, so I was thinking cowardice, and you said, because I was thinking about that driver and his homie, and you said courage. Well, I was thinking about cowardice of them, and it takes courage. And I'm thinking, what if they're not brave enough to? I don't want to sound like I'm judgmental. It does take courage to look at what's actually happening that challenges what you thought was reality. It's like this little beautiful bubble
Yes.
of like,
Yeah.
this is great, we're good, they're bad. But then when evidence and truth says otherwise, that, oh, what you're in is actually bad and they're the victims. Wait, I have to change my mind. No, I can't. No, bro. US. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Stone Cold right there.
No, did you say Stone Cold?
Yeah, Stone Cold. Whatever.
Yeah, wrestling.
Yeah. So
But yeah,
I was just thinking,
right.
like, it's that, like, simple minded but very aggressive, because, like, no, I can't change. No, I don't want this update. It's like,
It takes courage, man.
has to be a cowardice to not take courage to break what is, accept what isn't real. I mean, like, no offense, children, but Santa isn't real. It's like that little bubble is like, why protect the lie when the lie is costing so many lives
Because
and
yeah,
your
I
own
mean,
morality?
it's comfortable. People have lost their own
Um,
family members here in this country because the split. They've lost friends and family members. Like, would you be okay with my daughter, your granddaughter, being murdered in her school because you thought there was a criminal there and they bombed the whole school? So then those conversations started happening here at home.
mm,
People have lost family members. You ask them why, and they say, well, my family supports Israel. That means, would they want my daughter to be killed if she was there?
mm,
You see? And so what starts to happen is, like, when you sit and you reflect on it, you're like, wow, this person just lost their daughter, like, socially, as a family member here in the US, and lost their granddaughters. For what purpose? They've never even left the US. What do they care? Right? Like, what? And the reason is because it takes a lot of courage to say, I was wrong. I was hoodwinked.
mm.
I was tricked. It takes a lot of courage to, hey, listen, come back here. I was wrong. Israel is committing a Holocaust. Had a woman reach out to me on Instagram. She says, hey, I saw you protesting on Higley and Elliott and Gilbert. I am Jewish, and I just want to say that I am very sorry because I saw you a year ago protesting and I gave you the middle finger. And what Israel is doing is a genocide, and it's not right.
Wow.
We should be the first people to speak out against this, and I just want to tell you I'm really sorry. That's what she told me. And I actually
Wow.
invited her to coffee, but my account had gotten taken down, so me and her were not able to really plan anything. But there are people like her, right? She's Jewish, she's American, and that's it. She had to change. And she said, hey, my people are committing a Holocaust. My people are committing a genocide. Israel is. And it's wrong. That takes courage. That's
Wow.
in perspective, and it's not easy, and I hope I can be that way, right? On topics that I don't know enough about.
Mm.
There are things like I'm still learning about what happened to the Armenians. I'm still learning a lot about what's happened to Native Americans. You know,
Mm.
times when I'm sitting with my mom, who's like very well read, my mother would tell me, "Do you know what's happened to the Native Americans?" Like I'm like, "Wow, mom, really impressed. Like, good for you." Like, you know, and she's like, this, and it's like, you know, I want to have that courage to be able to investigate, have the patience for it, and read up into the crimes that have happened to the Native Americans. You know.
Mm-hmm. Crimes that are still happening with the missing indigenous women up north, and
Yeah.
that's painful because I'm sorry. I personally stopped celebrating Thanksgiving Day. I know that we are recording on November 25th, in the evening.
Yeah.
So I call it Thanks-taking Day or something. I don't know, Colonizer Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because many people don't know, it's like about 400, 500 Native Americans were slaughtered, and there was a celebration for it. And in the time of Abraham Lincoln, all he did about it was move it. He picked the date of the last Thursday of the month. He didn't change it or anything because in his time, there was a reward for taking the scalps or killing Native American men, a bigger reward for killing Native American women, and an even bigger reward for killing Native American children.
That's so sad.
And I was taught that, oh, Thanksgiving is celebrating the pilgrims who came here, and the Native Americans were like, hey, welcome, here's food for you. And they all had a party. That was the lie I ate up for the longest time until I did some research on my own that's not taught in schools. And you have this celebration ignorantly of what happened. I know, like for example, a lot of people are like, Halloween is evil, haram, and all that. You know, I get what they're saying, and I know the history of where it comes from. And then conservatively, like, you shouldn't celebrate something that even remotely celebrates something evil or celebrating spirits or this and that. Yet there's something that is a celebration that is tied in blood to some massacring,
Yeah.
you know?
That is so.
And we just don't talk about it, so we can be thankful for what we have and what thankful for what we have and they don't have.
Yeah.
Again, it's just that courage to look into what really happened, but then it's a holiday. I mean, I like a day off, you know, but I can be thankful every single day.
Yeah.
You know, when
it's good
praise
to have
Allah 5 times a day, I'm thankful 5 times a day.
MashaAllah, alhamdulillah. But yeah,
So,
you're right. Like these are things that do need to be looked at and discussed, right? And over time, these things can hopefully churn into change. Like a change could happen, right? Where I don't know what could happen in 10 years, 15 years from now if we kind of keep talking about these things, you know, and kind of bringing them up to the forefront. By the way, I do want to clarify a couple of things really quick. When I'm looking here, it's because I have another screen, so I'm still looking at you, and you know, on this.
I was hoping so. Unless it's like a mirror, and you're like, dang, this guy's handsome.
No, I do think you're handsome. But yeah, I just want to let you know that's why, you know. And the other thing,
no, it's all good. I don't mind. It's cool.
I do want to say something too regarding Americans.
Please.
There is a good thing I do like about Americans, and I've noticed is that when they do know, most of them are offended and are not happy that our money is going towards this. This is liberal and conservative, and I talk to them every single day. Coffee shops, gym, because when I work, I do work outside, like, you know, at different locations, like outside of home. I meet with clients in person, etc. So I talk to a lot of people because they come up to me. Oh, what are you doing? You're writing a letter. Hey, you're the guy that protests. I know you from the internet. Or, hey, I'm at the gym and I see, you know, they see my shirt. So I'm involved in a lot of conversations. And Americans are good people. They really are.
Oh yeah.
And this is the thing. Over 50%, you know, believe that it's a genocide. We talked about this in that video that you were referencing earlier that you wanted to play at the end of this. Over 50% of them, you know, it's probably closer to 60 now, believe that it's a genocide. Americans do not want their money going towards slaughtering children. And when you sit with them and you talk to them about this stuff, liberal or conservative, it offends them. And they will say, that's not right. That, you know, so I do want to just kind of clarify that. And that's a major difference between them and the Jewish supremacists. Absolutely no. And they celebrate the killing of children. And their Telegram channels have leaked all over the internet, and you could see Jewish supremacists celebrating the slaughtering of children, the bombing of hospitals, and making fun of them, making fun of the hunger, turning on water and making videos joking we have water and they don't, we have food and they don't. You know, the
Or dressing up as Palestinians and overacting like it's Hollywood.
Correct, and wearing the hijab, mocking Muslims. The Israeli Jewish supremacists, the soldiers would write on the walls of a mosque and in the homes, in Hebrew, the only good Arab is a dead Arab. So there is something deeply wrong with that society. Hamza the Absorber, I talk about him a lot. He's very popular on Instagram, on TikTok.
He's here on YouTube where he does that app where he talks to anyone from a country and picks Israel.
He has hundreds, if not 1,000 videos of him talking to random people in Israel. And you can see, young and old, what they say about Muslims, Arabs, Palestinians. Haha, you're a this, you're a that. You guys are all garbage. We should kill all of you. And Hamza says, even the babies, kill the babies. There's just tons. It could be a politician, a bank teller. It could be a kid at school who's 14 years old talking at the cafeteria to Hamza. All of this is publicly available. There's something deeply wrong with their society. America and Americans are not that way. That's the difference. Once you present the Americans, like if you sit them down for dinner, and you present these facts to them, they'll tell you, I'm not okay with it. If I could vote against it, I would vote against it. So yeah, I just want to clarify that.
No, definitely. You're a good American, just as I regard myself as a good American, because we have freedom of speech. Dang it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to take that away. And I say the government and politicians trying to make rules and ban this, ban that, push censorship and all this because I'll go back to as a kid. I really believe that G.I. Joe thing, we're the good guys. And politicians may be in the hands of people and some extremist, hateful groups are taking us apart. Those are the local terrorists, not the people who are working hard to bring this country up and help your fellow neighbor. I love the fact that I'm free to speak my mind. I'm free to pursue the happiness, choose my faith, pray to God the way I believe. And I want that freedom for every single person in America and the world. And that's why we have to do this, to have a conversation. Like when Charlie Kirk was murdered, I was sad. I did not like the guy at all. I personally don't think he was a good person. I saw his tone was changing, and when he did, but I'm not celebrating a murder. But what was also killed was the conversation. He was having conversations with us, and people could think. And one of the biggest ones that stood out to me reflected his ignorance and America's ignorance. And we didn't have that if he didn't have this conversation where he's talking to at a college with an Iranian American student who is saying that, no, I'm Christian. There's churches in Islamic countries, and they're predominantly Islamic, and they are free to be Christian. They're free to practice their faith. They're not persecuted or anything. And that's the way it is. And then Charlie Kirk was like, what is it? Like,
yeah, the conversation
without that conversation,
yes,
we can't see the level of ignorance that was there. And by murdering this public speaker, he doesn't get to live life to follow more revelations. Maybe they didn't want another Candace Owens. We could dissect it. I still think it's a psyop, and that's what hurts. Not only is it a crime against a free-speaking American, whether you agree with him or not, that is wrong, and it hurts everybody, because without having these conversations, we can't get close to the truth. Without people struggle with accepting, and that bothers me to this day.
We have to be able to defend people to say what they want, even when it's uncomfortable, because what we're doing is we're exercising free speech. So the word exercise is super important because it's like a muscle. So it's like, we need to consistently go out and have these conversations, carry a flag, hit the streets, bringing up, issues and voices that are oppressed, so that we can exercise free speech, or else it does get taken away. And there is a book called The Coddling of the American Mind. And it's really, really good.
Coddling of the American Mind.
It's excellent. And
Okay.
I can tell you this, that in that book, a lot of the discussion revolves around policing speech that would come from students themselves at universities.
When was this written? Because I remember students did protest the Vietnam War big time.
Let me pull up the information, because I also really like the author, and I'm kind of blanking on his name.
That's okay. This is a real discussion here. I just wrote it down with my colored pencil. Coddling the American Mind.
Jonathan Hult and Greg Lukianoff.
Okay.
The Coddling of the American Mind. And it was written in 2018. And it says that good intentions and bad ideas are setting up a generation for failure. Do you get that? Good intentions and bad ideas. So you might have a good intention when you when you don't want someone to talk about something. You might have a good intention, but it's a bad idea. Because you should be able to have these uncomfortable conversations, because the moment you police one of the conversations, you're going to police the next, right? As long as somebody's not calling for violence, they should be free to,
I agree. I'm against violence.
Yeah. Talk and challenge. And I mean, heck, the argument they make in the book, isn't that what universities were created for? The uncomfortable challenge.
Because I know in debate class, that's like a key thing. How can you get your debate across? And even though I wasn't that great at debate class, because for me, I would have my great rebuttal come 3 days later. I was like, dang it, I'm too slow. Yeah, I know. But that's a brilliance of people who are quick-witted. But what I've come to learn, that, how they say, oh, don't talk about politics, because it's bad. But I'm thinking that's avoiding the real problem. The problem is conduct, how we talk to each other, not what we talk about. Because then when you make a certain topic dangerous to talk about, you also make it taboo to never go there again, when we do need to talk about certain things, because these are things that affect people's lives, and that should be talked about in any aspect, in any age, I think, too. When I started speaking up for Palestine, certain people in my close circles, friends and family, really changed their tone on me. Like one friend I found out was a Zionist the whole time, and they're criticizing all my posts on Instagram at the time. And I had a post against Netanyahu, right? And this person hit me up saying, how could you do this? This affects my ethnicity and all this. I was like, wait, I thought you were what was it? I thought they were like Romanian. And I was like, wait, you're Polish? That's I was like, wait, you're Polish? She's like, no. And then said all this. I was like, fine, I'll take that down. Then they went back to another post, and I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. Want me to edit my post? I'm like, no, just keep talking about the video games, pro wrestling. That's good stuff. Yeah. It's like, you have not told me your favorite pro wrestler, and why should I change what I say just to make you feel comfortable about yourself? And then the conversation went crazy, like, I'm the descendant of Jesus Christ and all this. And then looking back, I was like, whoa, this was a Zionist playbook 101 with everything that went on. And I just had to stop talking to them. But pretty much they were triggered that I was speaking up for the Palestinian people.
Yeah.
And there was this whole godly self-justification on their end. And it was really bizarre to me. It really looked like all the villains you see in every single movie that told you sci-fi or fiction or historic of what were bad guys. It was just...
yeah, they're psychopaths.
So crazy. Yeah, it's so crazy. I was like, I don't know if they hear themselves.
Yeah, it's like, I believe sometimes like a curse from God. Once you start like committing to like slaughtering children, stealing land, stealing people's homes, dehumanizing, I believe then it's like a curse from God. And now everyone can easily spot a Zionist. I mean, it's undeniable.
Like, how could that even be justified in like people who do believe in Jesus Christ? How can like all this bad stuff happen, and then someone will tell me, where they were promised it, so it's okay.
Where do they believe Jesus is?
Mm.
They believe he's in hell burning in shit with his mother. And it pains me to say it because I love Jesus and Mary, peace be upon him. And there is no, I hate saying it, but it's the truth. There's no sugarcoating it. That's what they believe. Where do Muslims believe Jesus is? In heaven. And that
Mm.
he's the Messiah and he'll come back in the end of days. Muhammad,
Mm.
peace be upon him, is mentioned 4 times in the Quran. Jesus is mentioned 25 times in the Quran. We love him,
Mm.
respect him. They believe he's in hell. So this idea, right? This idea of like, he's Jewish, he's whatever. That's weaponizing him
Mm.
to get
Do
what you.
not take my name in vain. Thy
And
name in vain.
they absolutely do. They're weaponizing his name completely.
I'll tell you, bro. I've been studying Islam for like 5 years prior to reverting.
Yeah.
And just because I just want to understand, because it's one of the faiths I didn't dive into, because for some reason, for the longest time, I did believe that, there's a violent faith, violent culture,
Mhm.
and they beat their women and this and that, and misogynist, you name it. I actually believe all that.
Yeah.
Um,
It's okay. I mean, they worked really hard on that, so I understand.
yeah, I did, but I had friends who were Muslim. I was like, oh, well, maybe they're the good ones. And
Mhm.
then as I got to know more people, I was like, okay, maybe I should hear from Muslims themselves what Islam is rather than people who are not Muslim tell me what Muslims are.
Mhm.
And one of the most profound draws to the truth of Islam was Jesus Christ. And me as a Christian for the longest time, even when I wasn't uh didn't regard myself as a Christian, I always prayed to God and want to be closer to God. And I always believed Jesus Christ was the Son of
Mhm.
God. And I loved everything Moses did
Mhm.
to find out that in Islam they're all there and more. Like I remember saying this in my mind when I was reading reading the Quran. I had this, I was like, oh my gosh, Jesus, you're here. You're
Wow.
not gone. And
Because you loved him. Because you loved him.
yes, I do love him.
Yeah, you love him.
And
You don't want. Yeah, I know what you mean. Wow, that's
And then
beautiful.
I just want to be closer to God. And I did not know that I can be closer to God. As a Christian, I felt close to God and the community I had trouble with. But when I fell in love with Islam, to me, I'm a big film guy, right? I felt like the Quran is the director's cut.
Yeah.
And when I believe that this is the word of God, you just can't. I felt it doesn't make sense to put off the truth.
Mm.
So I
Most definitely.
accepted it. I'm still shy with the community because, but when I took Shahada, it was like the greatest thing I've ever did in my life.
So happy,
And
man. Really, I'm truly so.
I thank and love Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, for that, because it's really the love for that. And when I realize that, I see I did hear a sister say it's like not a superpower, but a super truth detector. Like when you hear people say certain things, like, okay, I know where you are, what you are like
Mm,
behind on current events or what's really going on.
for sure.
But it's really, really life changing and really, really beautiful. And I look back at my Christian friends, not like, oh, you should convert here, because I understand
Yeah.
everything I believed against racism. There's an answer for racism bad in the Quran. I never believed any faith should be forced on people. It says don't force it on people.
Correct.
And I
There's
was
no
like, oh my God, everything I believe in and
Yeah,
more is here. And it's just like you find home. And I just,
that's beautiful, man.
mashallah, I don't know. I'm
I'm
just
so happy.
rambling.
I know it's okay. It's because you're in love, and
I am, man. And I'm the dopiest dude in love ever. Like,
that's
shoot.
awesome, man. Mashallah, I'm so happy to hear that. And look, I'll just say this to your audience, and inshallah, we can benefit from it too. Um, there is no compulsion in religion. That is in the Quran. It's in chapter 2.
Hmm.
And in chapter, I believe, 19, which is the cave, it's either 18 or 19. It's called the cave.
Mhm.
There is a verse where God says, whoever wishes to be a non-believer can be a non-believer, and whoever wishes to be a believer can be a believer. When the angels asked God, why did you create Adam? Like, why did you create this being? when we worship you, us angels worship you, we don't make mistakes, right? We worship you day and night. Why would you create this being that sheds blood? That's what they described us as. God said, I know what you do not know. That's what he says in the Quran. And he tells the angels to bow down to Adam. So we are, as humans, as flawed as we are, in Islam, God put us at such an incredible pedestal to tell the angels to bow down to us. What an honor. And so there's beauty in that. Going back to Jesus, in Matthew, in the Bible, it says that he went down on his face to pray. And we all know that's how Muslims pray. And the question that
I remember that.
Yes. And if anyone is listening, thank you, first of all. And second of all, you should ask yourself, if Jesus put his face in Matthew, it says that he put his face to the ground to pray. You should ask yourself, who was he praying to? And I'll tell you right now, as a Muslim, he was praying to God. And that's who we pray to when we put our face on the ground. Jesus was a Muslim. It means he submitted his will to God. And the beautiful thing about Islam is that it's a hidayah. It's a gift. That's why when we pray and we're reading Surah Al-Fatiha, we say, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. We're asking God for the gift of the straight path. You cannot force it upon anybody. That's why God says, whoever wishes to believe can believe, whoever wishes to disbelieve can disbelieve. It's a gift from God. Islam is a gift. It comes to some people at the age of 10, 27, 45, 55. Everyone's different. Some people, it doesn't come to them at all. Some people are lucky enough to be born into Islam. But it does not mean that we are chosen or that we are so perfect that, no. Being a Muslim is a responsibility to lead by example, to do your best. We are not just, it's not a free pass to heaven. If you go to any Muslim and you tell him, are you guaranteed heaven? Are you going to go to heaven? You will not find a Muslim who will say, yes, I'm going to heaven. We're trying to get to heaven. We follow the way of the Prophet Muhammad and our prophets, the Prophet and his friends, the Sahaba, the books, right, that we have, that God has revealed, and the Quran, and we're trying our best to get to heaven. There's a verse in the Quran that whoever has slithered out of making it into hellfire is lucky. And if you just barely make it into heaven, kind of a thing, you're just so lucky. And the reality is this, is I'll challenge you with this, Kojay. Okay, check this out. Would you give up your left arm for $50,000? Like it's cut off, you'd never have it again.
No.
Okay. How about your eyesight? Would you give up your eyesight for like 250,000?
No.
Okay. Liver? Would you give up your liver for 300,000?
No, I like to eat.
I mean, as you could see, the debt that we are in automatically to God is insurmountable. And so if we make it to heaven, it's by the mercy of God. Blessing. Got lucky. Because you can never repay him for the blessings. To be honest with you, I wouldn't give up my eyesight for $2 million. And I wouldn't give up my left arm for another $1 million, nor my kidneys for $5 million. I just wouldn't do it.
Wow.
And then outside of the monetary aspect, ask yourself who you would give up. Would you give up your parents, your friends, your siblings, etc., for a certain, I don't know, blessing or amount of money? And you probably say no, And so the blessings are blessings upon blessings upon blessings. It's not just financial, but it's also the people the friends, the love that you have. It's endless. And so there's really no way of paying God back. And what's interesting in the Quran, God says that those of you who say, thank you, God, alhamdulillah, he says, I will give you even more. So coming at it from a place of gratitude, not from a place of supremacy, is the right way to go about Islam.
Oh, that's the truth, brother. Dang, that's beautiful. Alhamdulillah.
Habibi, that was from the heart.
That was. And you're a gift to me, man. Being here today, I was like, oh, are we gonna make it? You know, because man, because I beat myself like, oh, maybe I should have done that so I could be richer in the past and all that. Like I had a proposition, a marriage proposition to marry this girl. It's like old school, you know, Sri Lankan stuff. And I would have gotten $2 million for it. I said no because love is important to me.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be fair to her also, right? Like over time.
Yeah. Well, she's gonna be with a man who got with her only for money too. That wasn't nice.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't be that. Yeah. I mean, 2 million sounds good. A lot of my problems would go away, or I get new ones because I'm a bit of a bad spender sometimes. But
yeah, and
interesting. Instinctually didn't feel right.
Yeah, you followed your principles, you know, and you know, subhanallah. And
that was before Islam too.
Wow. In the Quran, Allah says that He tests us with money and our children. That's where the tests come from.
Ooh,
money.
Yeah.
So if you're ever struggling financially, it's a test to see how you're going to react. And if you're doing really well financially, it's also a test to see how you're going to behave and react. Same with your children. Why are my children this? Why are my children that? You know, I don't, inshallah, one day I have children. I don't right now, but do you have children?
No.
No.
I would like to, but I can't find the right woman yet. But at the same time, I see myself as only like 2.5 years old because I finally became who I was supposed to be, a Muslim. I really believe that in my heart. When I took Shahada, I looked back at all my mistakes and everything I made, all the decisions I did, good, bad, stupid, whatever, wise. And it was like, it was all necessary to be at this moment right now.
What a gift, man. It's a gift. And Allah clears you of all those sins, you know, before you didn't know, and it's okay, you know. But the reason I bring up the children is I'm sure maybe you have friends who have children.
No, I mean, my niece, she's the closest to my daughter. So
you can see, I'm sure, with the people around you that children can be a test, right? Like worry that the parents have, regardless of the age, really could be it could be a test. And so just kind of going back to the money thing, the financial, yes, God tests us with children and money. That's a verse in the Quran.
All right, I want to show you something real quick. It's right there, but I'm still learning, and I figure I'd invest in this book. I think you'll find it quite charming. I hope. BRB.
Go ahead.
You can still hear me. My apartment's so small.
Take your time.
Damn, here I am, real quick. So, so I could help understand the Quran. I have a direct translation. I have the clear Quran, and I have an audio, a book of the Quran of this guy who reads it. And I just got this one because I figure I'm still learning this. Quran Made Simple and Illustrated.
Oh wow, mashallah.
It's very beautiful because I figure I could, you know, read to someone who has, and it breaks down a lot of the surahs visually and simply. So, for my ADHD mind and how crazy I am,
that's awesome.
Very beautiful. So
I'm happy you have.
Yeah, shout out to Quran by Juz. It's a very beautiful book. I got this recently, so to help my Islamic studies.
Allah, I hope it goes well for you, man. That's beautiful.
No, I am trying because I do remember that there's a saying in there that there's extra forgiveness for those who struggle learning the words and stuff.
Correct.
Because I made it a point because I listen to a lot of K-pop and Bollywood, different, and it's you don't sing what it's translated to, you sing it in the language of the song it is.
Correct.
So when I do Salah, I do it in Arabic. I trained 2 years to do it in Arabic, and I just thought it was more closer to the meaning.
Beautiful.
I just have to remind myself what certain words mean every now and then, but I say it with all my heart, and I still work on my pronunciation. But
yeah, when you're praying, you know, you say in Arabic, right? The way that it's to be. And there's, of course, wisdom in that. And then when you're sitting down and, you know, you're wanting to learn, you learn in English and, you know, in different ways, right? That's beautiful, man. I'm very happy for you, really, truly.
Thank you. I'm trying.
MashaAllah. And yes, you do get more good deeds when you struggle. Yeah. It's the effort. God wants to see the effort, not just the outcome.
And I love that God, wants us to stand up against injustice. Because I remember, and please correct me anytime, brother, that if you cannot change the injustice, then hate the injustice.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I'm all about no hate, right? But the level of hate is kind of like well, I personally hate eggplant, so I just don't eat it. I'm like, I don't like it. That's the level of hate. It's like a small percentage.
Yeah.
Like in big doses it's bad, probably. No, it is bad actually. So there's a small amount of hate. That's where hate belongs, and like, I'm not for that. No way.
Mm-hmm.
Shun it away from me. That's why I put all these things.
It's a hadith by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, where he said, if you see an injustice, you need to stop it with your hands.
Mm-hmm.
If you cannot stop it with your hands, you need to stop it with your tongue. It's to say something. And if you can't, then you stop it with your heart. But the heart is the weakest of them all. So Islamically, we are obligated to not turn the other cheek. We do not turn the other cheek. Interesting. It's a different philosophy.
No, I love that. Oh, because that's like,
we especially us men, we are men of honor, and Islam gives us that honor, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does not make us into like little rabbits, like weaklings. No, we are men. We defend women and children. There is great honor in that. We defend our home and our land and our religion, and it gives us that right. And if there is an injustice against someone, Muslim or not, we have to get involved and stop it with our hands. And if we don't, we will be punished for that. Now, there are situations where we can't stop it with our hands, right? We're seeing it around the world. There's many cases I can't stop. Okay, that's why the Prophet ﷺ, peace be upon him, says, then you stop it with your tongue. You speak out. There's an injustice, you say something. Okay, you can't, because yes, there are situations where you're not allowed to say something, or else you'll get imprisoned. You'll disappear if you say something in Egypt or Jordan. Nobody will hear about you if you even say something.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Prophet said, then with your heart. But the heart is the weakest of them all. So don't get excited and be like, okay, well, in my heart, I condemn.
Right. The
weakest.
Yeah. Because you could turn the other cheek and say, well, in my heart, but you're turning the cheek.
Yeah. Now, there are times where it is appropriate to turn the other cheek. This is called in Arabic tanazul, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there are times with your parents, you should be turning the other cheek when they are being difficult, right? Like, you're like, okay, mom, dad, yes, you got it. In the Quran, it says, don't even say to your parents.
Mm-hmm.
See, so there are times where, yes, that teaching of being extra gentle, extra kind, extra merciful, we believe that those who are forgiving, God will forgive them on the day of judgment. So there's a time and place to stand up against injustice, be a man of honor, etc., or a woman of honor. You stand up against injustice. And then there are times where you should be extra merciful, turning the other cheek, kind, whatever. There's a time and place for each.
Wow. Man, I love Islam.
It's beautiful.
Time
is flying, man. I mean,
shoot, it is. I mean, I was just gonna say, my hope for people knowing Islam isn't for everyone convert. I'm not like that. I just want people to understand it for what it is, rather than to hate it and the people for what it's not.
Definitely.
Because I feel that's
it's like we're compensating for all of the propaganda. You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to explain these things because it's just, we know what the Americans have gone through, what they've been told through Hollywood and through the media, politicians, right? Like, even the other day, they wanted to make CARE into a terrorist organization in Texas. I think they made CARE the Islamic Relations. They're constantly talking about the Muslim Brotherhood. They want to keep that at the forefront, while Israel and the Jewish supremacists steal, lie, cheat, and kill, right? And buy out our politicians and et cetera, but they keep the Muslim thing right at the front, that way there's always this other enemy that we have to go and dehumanize them, and so we can kill them, right? And it's, the Muslims are, they're divided, and so they're the easy kill right now. And the Prophet Muhammad did predict that. He said something along the lines of, like, there will come a time where everyone's like feasting on you as Muslims. They're feasting on you, feasting off of like food off a plate. And they said, well, Prophet, won't we be like, is it because we're small in number? He said, oh no, you'll be many in number. Yeah.
I do remember that around the time of this year's Ramadan,
Mhm.
when a certain was it the prince? It was. I was seeing clips of the feast at the end of Ramadan
Mhm.
with these very very political, powerful people in the UAE and um, Saudi Arabia, and it's just mountains of food in a different way than when they celebrate at the masjids here and everywhere. It's just was kind of odd with everything else going around. The disassociation, like, oh, everything's good, but the rest of the Muslims and people in the world that are suffering, it's just felt some weird imbalance. And I remember that
Yeah.
saying there, and I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
ah, mm.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I want to ask you about, so Meta killed your account, all your hard work. That breaks my heart because I really want everyone to see what you've done. What are your plans going forward with your account and your voice on, social media
Sure.
after this hit? I don't see you stopping, but
Mhm.
what can people expect to see going forward, or anything you want to reveal? Because if you have surprises, of course, don't say those. But
Sure. Yeah,
uh,
the surprises I won't mention, but I will say that my intention is to upload everything that I have April 1st onwards, April 1st, 2025 onwards, back onto this new Instagram account.
why April 1st?
Because April 1st was the date that they broke into my home. The police took everything, the laptops,
Oh,
and then they
dang.
arrested me outside when I was at the stop sign here in my neighborhood, and that's when they took my phone and everything. I have since received everything back. I went and I picked it up from the police station recently, with the exception of the cell phone, which has the videos of April 1st, 2025 and prior.
Hmm.
So my intention with this account is to upload everything as much as I can, to re-upload it. As for like what my plans are, um, on a daily basis, I do update my stories. I do show on my stories typically what I'm up to, like almost on a daily basis. So I might post some stuff from this podcast, which has been a real pleasure. The writing the letters and so on and so forth, right? So there will
Yeah.
be, that consistency. Like there are things that I do that I also don't show. Like if I'm donating, for example, or if I am working on certain letters or I'm talking to people one on one, there are things that I do between me and God. It's like it's just a secret. And there's also that, aspect to it. Because it's also like I want to make sure that my intentions stay good, and I'm a human being, right? We all have
That's
ego.
real.
Yeah, huh?
No, I'm just moved, bro. Keep
Thanks.
going.
Thank you. So, we all have ego. We all have whatever. Oh, it's like, am I
Mm.
doing this for myself? Am I self-serving? Am I whatever? So sometimes it's good to just, you kind of disconnect a little bit and you just do the same deeds without showing or telling anybody.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So then, because it's like character is what you do when no one is looking. And so there are times where it's like, okay, I'm not going to show this part to anybody. So I want to also, do my best to continue in that way. Um, Something interesting about my videos when they do come out, they are not typically planned. What that means is like when I went on that radio show with that guy, I didn't know what he was going to tell me. When there could have been no video there, right? Because he could have
Mm.
been like, yeah, what's happening is terrible. Talk to me about it. I'm going to talk to him about it, and that's it. It's done. But the moment that I felt some turbulence, there's something deeply wrong here.
Mm.
Pulled out my camera and I hit record, and I started recording,
Oh.
recording, and I fished it out and I got it, right? Because he tried to act like he was on my side, but then he was like, no, but you need peace. And I was like, wait a minute.
Ah.
So my point is, I don't know when the next video is going to be or what
Mm.
it's going to be about. Does that make sense? Typically, I don't know because I'll be protesting in Scottsdale, and heck, it's a great Wednesday and nothing happens and I go home. Then all of a sudden I come on a Friday and somebody comes up to me and says, F you, go back to your country, blah, blah, blah. Okay, boom, I pull out the camera and I'm recording and I record that moment. The only videos I upload though are videos where I know that I have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So if you ever remember watching my videos, like if you saw me at the gym, I go to the gym, I'm working out, manager comes, says, you can't be here. I tell him, why? Is it because of my shirt? He says, you need to leave this gym. I'm like, well, I've been here for 3 years. Is it because I'm wearing a shirt that says Israel kills children? He says, you need to leave. All of a sudden, the police come, say, what's going on? I'm like, this guy wants me to leave for wearing this shirt. I say, okay, well, you were told to leave. You're under arrest. And it ends with resistance is beautiful has been arrested. That has a beginning, a middle, and an end. I will not upload videos that don't have a story. And there are times where that does happen. There is a conflict, but there is no story. And so what will happen is I'll send the video to my mentor, people that I trust, for example, but my mentor especially, and he'll look at it and he'll say, well, what's the message here? And so when there is no message, there is no story, I will not upload. So that's why earlier when I told you sometimes there's 3-4 months until another video, 6 months between videos sometimes.
Oh, that's so. I remember this one video of yours where you're on the street and then a police officer comes up to you saying, hey, you were being aggressive in the crosswalk over, and you're like, no, I was just right here the whole time. He's like, yeah, and then called and he left, and then you told him to like put on his signal or something, like his left turn that he didn't do, you know, and then you continued walking around the street on the sidewalk, and then like the story continues, like you were there, the guy came up to you, I'm pretty sure you remember this, right? Yeah. And then he left, and then the rest of your video was you continually walking on the sidewalk with the Palestinian flag. And continuing your journey. As an independent filmmaker and fan of movies, I was like, you're such a wonderful poet with what you do, bro. And I think that's powerful. And I think that because you're capturing you in the front lines, you in the field, essentially. And while you're documenting it. So I feel like because I still feel it's so weird why Meta got after you, but I think it's because, you know, and other people are like, you know, equal followers or following or more are still on about, but there's something very powerful about what you do. And I see that you, in my eyes, are a warrior poet. And that's the most dangerous thing to those who are trying to silence the truth, because the power of art and poetry, especially capturing something that's real, is a super threat, because that ripple effect is the ones that last. Just like Saleh, when they assassinated him, and social media assassinated him. All his work, man, I love that guy. We were there when he was crying. We were there when he was singing, comforting a little baby child just with his hand, just going, da, 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 like any father would their child. Very, very powerful. He was a poet, not just a journalist. He was there with the people among them. I see the same way. And I think they weren't just trying to kill the truth, but a powerful truth. That's why I really don't want this. Well, I can't control it, but I don't want to see it happen to you again. And I just want you to keep going, bro.
Thank you, man. That means the world to me. And may Allah have mercy on his soul. Saleh was a hero.
Yeah.
And he was just a great example of a Muslim, of a Palestinian, of a man of honor, really. So I don't know that I deserve to be mentioned in the same sentence as him, but thank you. And I will do my best to live up to that. You know what I mean? I'm trying my best, and I'm honored by your words.
Thanks, man. I'm honored of you being here. I'm also honored that you came out to see us at I'm gonna shout out to OC Banner Job for Pali. Check them out on Instagram. I roll with them a bunch. So shout out to Sally, Justine, Remy, Jay, a whole bunch of people.
They were all great. It was honestly, I mean, every time
I didn't know you were coming. Did you just show up? How did you come across us? And because you said you're doing a tour, you're going around a lot of people, and
so the tour I'm still doing, and I don't plan to stop. So the thing, you know, you were asking me earlier about like, is there a plan that I have? One thing that I am currently working on that I guess I'll tell you is I am looking to do this full time. the resistance work full time, meaning the work that I do for my personal life, I might be kind of phasing that out slowly, or kind of just keeping the clients that I have, you know what I mean, and not really doing it, so that I could do this work full time. And the reason that is there's a major need. If you're familiar with Sami Hamdi, he was kind of going around and giving speeches, doing a great job, and he was kicked out of the US. So one door opens for him and another door closes. And hopefully maybe for, I don't know, I'm nowhere near as awesome as Sami Hamdi is. I'll tell you that right now. But I'll use whatever Allah has given me, the blessings that God has given me, and try to elevate oppressed voices by doing this full time. Do you see what I mean? That's what I'm working on. You know, it's in God's hands. I'm going to do my best and pray for it. But the reason that I was bringing that up, because you just mentioned, what did you mention? I don't want to lose my train of thought. You mentioned, oh yeah, if, you know, coming to California, when I was coming to OC and stuff, did I plan that? Yeah, like I was planning it, but I didn't really put it everywhere. And I kind of showed up, and I, you know, sometimes I'll go and I give a speech, for example, or I go to an event or whatever. And then when I'm there, people that I meet will start telling me, hey, there's a meetup here. Do you want to come? Hey, there's a protest here. Would you like to come? And then I end up going to those. That's how it happens. So like when I go to Houston, I'll go for 1 or 2 things, but I end up doing 7. I go to Dallas, you know, for 2 things, I end up doing 9 things, you know? So, and I love that. I love that because it's like I'm naturally, organically meeting with all of you guys, and you guys inspire me, you know? So I, like when I saw you guys, it just pumped me up. I was so proud of you guys and what you guys were doing. And I felt
I saw you too, because I was holding my Palestinian flag.
It was incredible, man. You have no idea. Like, it's like you guys are my fuel. You know, I look up to you guys, and I'm so like, I'm proud. And then I'm like, okay, this gives me fuel to keep going. You know what I mean? And so some of it's not planned, some of it's kind of organic, and it's the best way, in my opinion. I like that feeling.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, and out in the field, like you were saying when I said the ratio of like the haters and the lovers, and you said it was around 90 and then 5% or whatever.
Yeah.
I see that too. I count the middle fingers that we get.
Okay.
And it's always from a same demographic.
Yeah.
But the people who honk and show solidarity is in the 90% range.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I counted, we had like 11 middle fingers one day.
But how many?
But we had 120 honks in solidarity in the span of 2 hours.
There you go.
And I was like, wow. It's
at 90-95% range.
Yeah, it's astoundingly beautiful. Oh,
yeah.
So,
yeah, the support's there. If you look for it, you'll see it.
Yeah. I guess I feel like we gotta wrap it up, but before we do, I want to hand the floor to you.
Yes.
I want you to say whatever you want to anyone listening to this, and for some reason, anyone who is silent and hasn't looked into this. And I'm going to give you a spotlight. I just want you to say whatever's on your heart and mind, bro, and we'll end it there.
Thank you so much, man. First of all, thank you for having me. It's been a great honor. Something that I would say is that if you are not speaking up, especially about what's happening in Palestine, the crimes of Israel and Jewish supremacy, the crimes of America, the time to speak up is now, because these crimes will eventually come to your doorstep. The human body is one body. We are a global community. And if one of us is suffering, all of us should be suffering. It should pain you that children are being slaughtered every day by Israel. It should pain you that America is funding all of it. And it should keep you up at night. Because not only will it be you one day and your children, but you will be asked, what have you done to stop this? And if you don't believe me, 2 million years ago, I wasn't here. I'm flesh and bone right now. I was not here. And that means that God has the ability to recreate us and hold us accountable on the day of judgment. And he will. And you want to make sure that you can tell God that you did everything in your power. You can tell your children, your friends, your family, that you did everything within your capacity to stand up for the oppressed. I mean that from the heart. Free Palestine, glory to the resistance. Don't bend the knee to the empire.
That's beautiful, bro. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to talk to you again soon, and I look forward to seeing everything you got going on. And yeah, much love. God bless everyone. I have the link for his Instagram. Follow him, support him, and all that good stuff. And I'll be back around again. So much love. God bless. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Every day, all the time.
It's an honor.
And thanks for being here, brother. Alhamdulillah. And yeah. Peace.
I'm really proud and honored to see all of you here and to, come out and get to meet you all one by one and see what you guys are doing. It's beautiful. I know it could feel very difficult right now with all of the Palestinians starving to death and being bombed daily, and it could feel pretty hopeless. But this has happened in history, and the best that you can do is whatever is in your hands. Do not blame yourself, and there is no reason to feel an overwhelming amount of guilt, just a healthy amount, because you're doing what you can, and the rest is in God's hands. If God wrote this, then we have to accept it. That does not mean you don't do what you can within your own hands. So if you look, like, as a Muslim, I look to the Quran. And there are many instances where the prophets who went through so much turmoil put their best foot forward, and sometimes things worked out and sometimes they did not. But they never lost hope in Allah. They never lost hope in God. You look at, like, the story of Musa, of Moses. Pharaoh would call himself a god, and he would kill babies, boys 1 year, girls another year. Boys 1 year, girls another year. The prophet Moses was not a prophet till like the age of 40. And he was so scared that he asked God to make Harun, Aaron, a prophet with him. And even then it was still difficult. So what you can do is whatever is within your capabilities. You boycott, you go out, you protest. And when you do that today, when you go home, you should feel a sense of pride. You should not feel a sense of shame. If you're not doing anything, you should feel shame. But if you did what you did today, you should go back home feeling a sense of relief. You are doing what's right. That's all you can do. You can do what's within your hands and then make a prayer. God, I did what I could, the little that I could, and the rest is in your hands. But we also have to trust the wisdom of God. Prophet Joseph was betrayed by his brothers. They threw him into a well. He was betrayed by them as a baby. And then he was imprisoned by a woman that made a false accusation against him. And he was in jail for more than a decade. And that's just God's wisdom. So it's not like he was a bad person. So at some point you do need to come to peace with the fact that you did what you could and the rest is written by God. And if you ever doubt, and I will tell you this, we may never meet again, so I have no benefit to tell you this. I am telling you the truth. If you ever doubt the existence of God, remember this verse in the Quran. He says, I created you the first time. Do you think I could not create you again? Were we here 2 million years ago in this Del Taco? We were not 2 million years ago, but we are here, are we not? On the day of judgment, they will say, Man ba'athana min marqadina, who has woken us from our sleep? It's the King who created you the first time. There is a day of judgment. And God says in the Quran, it's a wa'id, it's a promise, 100%. There is a day of judgment. As sure as you are here today, there is a day of judgment. And these Jewish supremacists and these Israelis will pay for their crimes. And you have to believe that. Because you are here now, flesh and bone. So are you going to doubt the Creator that He cannot create you again? He will create you again, and you will be held accountable for your good deeds and for your bad deeds, all of us. So worry about yourself. Try to perfect what you have inside, to be sincere, and then you do the rest for the world. But if God has written this, God has written this. We do our best, and we go back home and we say, God, I hope you accept what I've done. We wake up, we do our part, go back home. God, I hope you accept what I've done. We're doing our best. Please step in. Please help us. Like that. Don't lose hope in Allah and keep doing what you can. I love you guys. Thank you for listening. It's from the heart. And that's kind of why I'm traveling around the U.S. I'm going city to city to city to tell you whatever you're doing, it's working. Look at the data. Around the world, everybody hates Israel. Everybody. PEW, Pew Research shows that Netherlands, Germany, on and on and on, unfavorable. Israel, 70% unfavorable, 70% unfavorable, 70%. America, 4 weeks ago, is at 53% find Israel unfavorable. 4 weeks ago. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it's at 60%. Whatever you're doing is working. So pat yourself on the back. Be proud of yourself. So one day you can look at your children and your grandchildren and say, hey, when the whole world was against us, we made everybody pay attention. God bless you guys. I love you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Good speaking.